There comes a time in every person's life where you just have to change the game. It's literally the most trending food. I'm talking about that Popeyes chicken sandwich, which I have still yet to try. I don't know why, Popeyes, you haven't made a keto version. Hey Cakenistas, it's Marisha. The beginning of the holidays is all about food, family, and being thankful. So for the whole month of November, I'm going to be doing food videos. A couple days ago, I did my General Tso's cake, and I had to up it up a notch. Before we even get into that, I was scrolling through Instagram, minding my business as usual. I see this company called Already Baked. So I go to the website, and I see that they have already baked cakes. And I don't know if it was because Instagram heard me saying that I didn't have enough time to bake the cakes. So I went to the website and it was legit. It's a company that bakes the cakes, you buy them, and then you decorate them. So I leave a comment and I'm like, I would love these already baked cakes because it would be the answer to my dreams, and I want my Cakenistas to know about them too. And I just Already Baked reached out to your girl. They said, Marisha, we would love for your Cakenistas to see what we do. They sent me 10 of their 8-inch already baked cakes. So they're gonna sponsor this video. I'm gonna use those fluffy already baked cakes to make my Popeyes chicken sandwich. Succulent piece of fried chicken cake on a brioche bun cake, pickles fondant, and a delicious sauce frosting. I'm gonna leave the information for already baked cakes down below so that you guys can check them out as well. If you have not done so yet, subscribe to the channel and then press on the notification bell. Let's just get started. I'm going to unpack my already baked cakes. I was so excited. I actually received the box outside of my door in the afternoon, but I had to rush off to work. So I just put it on my table, and then at night when I got back, I was just hoping that they were still frozen. So you get this huge box with a really nice insulation. I assumed that those bags had dry ice in them because they were completely empty. Within that box is another box, and those are your cakes. I'm so impressed. Each one is individually wrapped. I don't know why I thought they would be wrapped as a bundle, but they were individually wrapped and they were still frozen in the centers. They only started to thaw out a little bit. Now they keep in the freezer for up to 6 months, and then after you thaw them out, they keep in the refrigerator for 3 days, which is a great sign, by the way, because that means that there are real ingredients involved here. So I'm going to take my first layer and I'm going to make this a top bun. And I'm going to carve away that top edge as well as the bottom edge. Buns, of course, have a nice curve to them, so we want to get that in the cake. You can take your time with this step. You definitely want to be as accurate as you possibly can. And the one thing that I am noticing about this cake is that it's super easy to carve. It's actually not too crummy. It's actually very sturdy. Now I'm going to take another layer of cake and we're going to work on the bottom bun. And all I have to really do to that one is to just level it off and remove that top layer. Make sure it's nice and straight, and then I'm going to add the top bun. I'm going to sit that on top of it so that I can make these line up, so that when I sandwich them together, it'll make sense and look like they were made for one another. Like Peaches and Herb, like Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. Well, they weren't actually made because they definitely like broke up. So I carved that bottom cake. I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to grab my third cake layer. So I have to make this somewhat look like a random piece of chicken breast, which is very weird and awkward because it's a layer of cake. So I'm just carving away the sides, and I'm going to add pieces of cake to that, and I'm using cake scraps and buttercream to do that. The chicken sandwich or any fried piece of chicken breast looks kind of deformed, you know what I mean? It can look very deformed, it can look very random and just all over the place. So there's really no right way to do this. Carve as you see necessary, add pieces, take pieces away. So when I feel comfortable about this shape, I pop that in the freezer. And now we can frost our bun. We're going to refrigerate that for just a few minutes or until that buttercream is solid. And then I'm going to cover my top bun in a beige colored fondant. And this is my homemade marshmallow fondant. I just made it. And if you'd like to know the recipe for that, just check the description and I will leave the link. So I'm smoothing my fondant onto the cake. And what's great about this is that brioche buns definitely are not perfectly smooth. So we're going to put that to the side and grab the bottom bun. Now for this, I rolled out some fondant and I cut it into a strip. And then I'm just going to unravel it around the cake. The only part that we need to cover here are just the sides of the cake. And I'm going to trim a little bit of that top fondant away. I'm going to smooth it out a little bit and then I'm going to pop both of these layers in the fridge until I'm ready. Please don't hurt each other over the chicken sandwich. And it's such a shame that anyone would have to say something like that because yes, it sounds ridiculous. Never hurt each other over a piece of fast food. Hold your patience and get smart. What you do is you order on the app and then you just go ahead to the store and then you pick it up. Now back to that piece of chicken. Okay, so I purchased this big old box of corn flakes. I'm determined to make this thing the crispiest piece of fried chicken ever. A lot of chicken recipes call for corn flakes, so I'm hoping that if I pile enough corn flakes onto this cake, something amazing will happen. A breakthrough, if you will. So I put cornflake layer after cornflake layer, buttercream after buttercream, and I wasn't happy. That Popeye's chicken sandwich is on a whole nother level when it comes to crispy. So that means that I'm going to have to get on a whole nother crispy type of level as well. So I did what I had to do. I'm gonna just deep fry the whole cake because I just did the General Tso's chicken and I deep fried those cake bites, so I was totally inspired. So I brought the cake with me to work. It's completely frozen. I covered it in all-purpose flour and egg mixed with water and then another coating of flour. The mad scientist has awakened, okay? The mad cakenista. I cleaned out the fryer. Let me just note that. I carefully put my cake in that deep fryer, kind of like putting up a prayer that something crazy doesn't happen. I didn't know if it was gonna sink to the bottom, but if this isn't the most buoyant cake ever, like I guess all cake floats. I don't know because I've never actually done this before. It's floating beautifully and that crispiness is happening right before your eyes. It is browning beautifully, and can I just tell you, the smell is out of this world. It smells like funnel cake. I have amazing coworkers. Danton, thank you so much for being my cameraman. He was totally for everything that I was serving at this moment, and his Instagram is at D2Drama. I'll see you at work on Tuesday. Now that I feel content and confident about my fried chicken, I can move on to my pickles. I have two shades of green fondant, a darker shade and a lighter shade. And I'm going to roll out the darker shade and then roll the lighter shade into a log that's going to go inside of the dark one. When I roll them together, they bond into one. And then I'm going to slice that down. I used a rolling pin to flatten it out, and then I'm going to use the back of the knife to make it look like it's crinkled. I'm the type of person that would say, oh, no pickles please, but I can't lie, when it comes to fried chicken, it does add a little bit of flavor. Chick-fil-A taught me that, but this isn't about Chick-fil-A, that's for another video. I'm going to make the indentations on the edge of all the pickle slices. It's time to finally bring this cake together. So I have both of my bun halves, and I've created my perfect shade with yellow gel dye, brown gel dye, and some water. I put that in my airbrush machine, and I'm going to airbrush the entire top bun and then all around the sides of the bottom bun. Now I hear that the Popeyes chicken sandwich only has about 2 pickles on it, but for dramatic effect, I feel like 5 pickles was great. Now I can add my chicken. I put some vanilla buttercream in a sandwich bag. I cut off the corner of the sandwich bag and I can pipe that on. This is going to be the sauce. And then lastly, the top bun. You are in the middle of Mardi Gras, full off of beignets. And now you've got a delicious chicken sandwich to top it off. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please thumbs it up and share it. Tag Popeyes Couture in a Popeyes chicken sandwich. Bye guys. The Caganista comment of the day goes to Tiara Powell. On my How to Cost Your Cakes Like a Boss, Tiara says, I'm glad I found your channel. I love your personality. Wait, why am I saying it like that? Love your personality. I love your personality. I've been baking as a hobby, but I'm ready to make some cash with it. LOL. And I hope that you do. That's what that video was all about. I want you guys to turn your hobbies into your dream job, because you're not going to have to work a day in your life if you do something that you love. And if you're already baking, why not bake one for you and one to sell and get, you know, a little change in your pocket to do something that you really got to do. So thank you so much, Tiara, for commenting. I really appreciate it. I hope that you turn that hobby into a little cash cow. In comparison to my head, this is a sandwich. I'm just gonna cut into the chicken because I'm gonna just be honest, you guys know me, and I'm definitely gonna reuse these two, okay? You'll see those 2 layers in another video. That's what I do. Oh, wow. Oh, 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 yeah. I know some of that is grease. Now I understand that that was a fried piece, and that was probably ridiculously delicious, partially because it was fried. So I'm going to go into the cake that was not fried. This cake looks very fluffy. So as far as flavor, It doesn't taste very vanilla-y. I don't taste any vanilla really. And I guess that's a good thing because it's supposed to be a neutral cake that everybody could use. The texture is really, really good. Carving into it, I was thinking, I wonder if it's a little bit dry, but it's not dry at all. It has the perfect little kind of bounciness to it. It's very light and airy without being like an angel food cake. It definitely needs a good filling, and your flavor has to come from your frosting because there's not too much flavor actually in the cake as far as vanilla flavoring. And with box cake mixes, I always sense an aluminum aftertaste with that, which I don't get from this. Dang, that looks just a, you make a good sidekick just sitting in the back. For all of the tools that I use in this video, check in the description below. Let me know if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll get back to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I am so hungry now from having that taste of that cake and my stomach is growling.